Hello again, thanks for joining. So if you watch this channel regularly, you'll know I'm a big fan of Fleischmann's vintage HO range, especially their locomotives. I've got quite a few of them in my collection and you've seen them quite a few times on this channel. This one is a E101 from the DB and it's number 1347 and then it's got a T for some reason. Not quite sure what that T stands for. But there are other colour options for this particular model. Don't believe me? Well, I've also got the blue one as well. But this is actually an E110. And it's number 4338 in the Fleischmann range. So in this video we're going to check out both these two locomotives and see if there's any significant details other than the colour scheme, and also we're going to have to see whether they run or not. Might as well start with this one, which I think is possibly the older of the two. So inside we do have a leaflet here which has number 1347 and 1347S. It doesn't have 1347T, which is the model we've got, but you can see it does have different liveries. I'm guessing this one at the top is probably an all green one, or maybe all dark blue, and this one is probably the cream and blue one that we've got in the other box. A great picture here showing you where the instructions are in the box in case you can't find them, and that picture is on the instructions, which you've already just found, so that's quite funny. Inside it's got some lubrication details. Over here it has an indication that there's a little switch on the side of the locomotive to switch between overhead pickup or two rail, which is really quite cool. And down here it's talking about the little stud on the bottom of Fleischmann locomotives of this era, which operated line side accessories. You can see it operating this one here. And on the back it's some more cleaning details. And here is the locomotive, and it is actually quite an impressive machine. I really like the details on the top. The pantographs look pretty good, and I like the metal cable between the two as well. It looks pretty cool. But let's have a closer look. Well, one thing's for sure, this is a pretty heavy model because the body is actually all made of metal and it's quite substantial as well. At the front of the locomotive there's a light up here and another two on each side down here. It looks as though these may be illuminated. Some of the paint is coming away at the top there and you can see the cream, but I think that's just with age. But you do see some of the masking on this is not too good. There's a little bit of fuzziness going on there and it's not quite right around the lights here. So there is some compromises on the finish, unfortunately, but there is some wear and tear as well. It's also got some red up here. I'm not quite sure why that is there. You do have a metal handrail going around the cab, which is a separate part that's been added in. And you can see the DB logo here. It's actually raised out the moulding and picked out in silver, which is pretty cool. And the number below, I think that's an extra part that's been added on. It is very clearly printed. The buffers are separate pieces which have been added in and they're made of metal as well. And we've got the typical Fleischmann coupling hanging out the front, which does have a degree of articulation on it. There's also this little jumper cable, an extra piece made in plastic which has been fitted onto this part as well. Looking down the side, we've got a 1 here which is raised in the moulding and picked out in silver for the number 1 end of the locomotive, and we also have metal handrails down by the door here too. The masking continues to not be great between the cream and the red, but the overall finish is actually quite nice even though it is a little bit shiny. The silver part up here fares a lot better with the masking. This grille looks pretty cool, and we have some printing down here as well, and a little screw which I think is holding the bogie on. Even these steps coming down here have been picked out in a little bit of silver too. In the middle, again, it's a DB logo which is raised from the main moulding and picked out in silver, and we have the number here as a transfer. We did notice that this is switchable between two rail and overhead with this little switch at the side here. Quite easy to move back and forward. And then moving down to number 2 end, we have a number 2 there as you would expect, and some more printing down here, which is very small. You can barely see that with the naked eye, but it is actually very crisply printed on, which is really quite good. No differences down number 2 end here. So up on the roof, it's painted silver, quite a nice finish as well, and there's a nice amount of detail up here being moulded into this top piece of metal. You've even got these little checkerboards picked out in different colours, and obviously the wire here is another little tiny bit of wire up just up there where the electrical gear is, and these are all little insulators in plastic that the metal wire runs through. The pantographs do have good amount of spring in them, and they have plastic seats, and the rest of it is metal, quite fine and nicely detailed. And a very shiny runner as well. It looks as though this has never been run an overhead pickup, even though this is quite an old second-hand model. The sides of the bogies are made of plastic and there's a good degree of detail on them. I really like the spring detail, and you've got a nice moulding of the brakes as well, although they're not in line with the wheels. And looking underneath here, we can see that we've got traction tyres on all the 4 wheels on this driven bogie, and it looks as though the motor's fixed onto the top of this bogie. So obviously the pickup comes from this side, and we have the little stud that we saw as well. These wheels do have quite large flanges, but it is quite an old model, so it's to be expected. and in the middle there's a screw which can take the model apart. This side has got a black painted little box there underneath, and on the other side we have a bit of silver there on this kind of grill thing, which is painted onto the main piece as well. So both these two parts are metal as well. The glazing isn't flush fit, and you do get some windscreen wipers detailed onto the plastic. It's quite clear, but there's no interior detail in this model. So I'm just going to undo this screw and we'll have a look at what's inside this model. So inside the body shell you can see it is all one piece of metal here, and we have the little connector between the pantographs as well for the pickup. We've got some glazing there, it looks to be a little bit tinted, and we have some lighting at each end as well. The chassis frame here is all made of metal. This is the little switch which we saw could switch between overhead and normal two-rail pickup. And this is a little pickup that goes up to the roof. At each end we've got some bulbs, but unfortunately this one has come away. The wire is split away from this bulb, so this isn't going to work. I'll maybe just solder that back on in a minute. The motor at this end is a very typical Fleischmann motor, pancake style, and the gearbox in this side in plastic. All seems to revolve okay, so hopefully this will run fine on the track. But before we do that, let's have a look at the other locomotive, and also I'll fix this light bulb as well. So it's a different leaflet in this one. It has the same information about overhead pickup with the little switch, and also how to keep this locomotive lubricated, and on the back about the stud and other cleaning information. So it has all the same info, but it's a different design. And here is the locomotive. Obviously the colour is different, but there are some other subtle differences here and there, not least of which is that the body is made of plastic. Let's take a closer look. Well, it looks almost identical to the first one. I can't see any differences from a quick look over this model, but obviously this is a plastic body, not a metal body like the other one. Glazing looks to be the same, still isn't flush fit. And we have the same light and arrangement at the front, the same raised DB logo and the number down here. The masking actually looks a bit better on this one. It's still not absolutely perfect, but it's certainly better than the one we just saw. We do have metal buffers on this one and the same coupling, same jumper cable here. And looking down the side, again these steps are picked out in cream, and we have little metal handrails as well as a metal railing going around the front. We have the same switch here, and it's the same kind of setup with the silver and the logos on it, and there's no real difference at number 2 end either. So looking up the top, we've got slightly different pantographs here. I think this is a newer design from Fleischmann. It's got stronger springs and it's all silver as well. You'll notice that the other one had black here, or at least darkened metal, but this one is quite shiny metal. We still have the electrical cables in metal as well, and it's the same kind of arrangement, but obviously this part is made of plastic here, and it's a darker colour too. The bogies are exactly the same as we saw in the last one, and it looks as though it has the same kind of wheels as well. And you can see that they're actually spoked. The other one had the same spoked wheels as well. I didn't mention that, but it did have the same thing. And also the drive is on this bogie here, but this time it looks as though we have a plastic gear here rather than a metal gear in the last one. So very similar, but very different as well. Let's get this open and we'll check out inside. So yeah, it's an all plastic body here. We do have the metal between the two pantographs, so the pickup still, and it's the same kind of windows and lighting setup. But yeah, this is a plastic body. However, the chassis is all metal, just exactly the same as the last one, and it has exactly the same setup as well. The only difference I've noticed is that this one has got an extra weight at this end of the locomotive, which the other one didn't. I guess it didn't need it, but for some reason Fleischmann thought that it needed an extra weight on this particular one, possibly because of the body shell, but it still feels quite heavy. And we'll put both of these on scales later on to see how much they weigh. So a very similar model, this one. Let me get this back together and then we can start to test these on the test track. I've got that wire back on the light bulb, so hopefully it'll work. I'm just going to test the chassis first on the test track here. As usual, this is my third radius Hornby track, just some scrap I had lying around, and I'm using my H&M controller on 12 volts DC to give it some power. So let's see what happens. As usual, no problem at all. It is quite speedy though, and it was good to see that it had the lights working, and they were directional too. Well, let's get the body back on and we can get the full effect. Well, it highlighted the fact that I needed to clean the track a little bit there, but it does run really good, and it is actually quite speedy as well. You can run it quite slow on very little power, but give it a bit more juice and it really picks up speed. But how is the blue one going to fare? Well, let's put this on the track too and we'll give it a go. Well, no problems at all with this one too, and actually it runs smoother than the red one. I think maybe it's just a bit cleaner, or maybe that little clean of the track did the trick and this one works better because of that. Anyway, both of them are very good performers, but obviously one's plastic and one's metal, so let's put these on the scales and we'll see how much they weigh. So the blue one with the plastic body is 365 grams, and the red one with the metal body is 478. So these two old Fleischmann models, well, they look very similar, but there's some slight differences, and I think there's one significant difference which makes one of them better in my mind. I'll tell you that in a minute. But what I like about both of these two is that they have a good level of detail on them, and the finish is actually not too bad. Some of the masking isn't too good, especially on the red one, but overall it's pretty good. And they've got a lot going for them, like the metal handrails around the front and the metal handrails at the doors. I like how the numbers are presented and the printing on it is really good. The pantographs look great as well, and you can opt for this being overhead pickup or two rail. I would say they're probably a little bit highly geared, but they can crawl along at a slow speed as well, so they're a good all-over locomotive, I think. I feel like the cream and blue one is possibly a newer version of this locomotive, and they've made it cheaper by having a plastic body rather than a metal one. However, that said, the metal body does have the T on the number, 1347T, and I guess that T is representing that it has this metal body. So maybe this is an optional version of this model at the time that you could buy. And it is my favourite of the two. Even though the masking on it isn't as good as the blue one, that extra weight of the metal body does make it feel like a chunkier, more robust model, and something a bit better quality as well. It's amazing what 100 grams can do to your perception of a model. But what do you think about these two? Do you have a favourite? Let me know in the comments below, I'd love to know your thoughts. And if you liked this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, it really helps this channel. I'll put the red one on the turntable because, it's my favourite and you can see it all the way around. But that's it for this video, thanks for watching, I'll see you on the next one.
So models train,